Alia Bhatt's healthy eating secrets meets 22 grams of plant protein. This sweet potato quinoa poha is completely tofu-free, packed with fibre and loaded with vitamins from sweet potatoes. This Indian comfort food makeover will change how you think about high protein meals. I'm Tila, I've been plant-based for over 8 years as a doctor. Let me share a bit of my journey with you. I started as whole food plant-based using the 50-50 plate method, like the starch solution, focusing on high carbohydrate foods. It worked brilliantly up to a point, but I found myself expecting those same large portions when eating out, and honestly, I wasn't reaching my body composition goals. Now I understand that's not everyone's goals, and I completely respect that, but I wanted to feel good about myself, and I'm also aware as I approach menopause, I need to protect my bones and muscles. So I got a plant-based personal trainer, even though I'd been lifting at the gym for years, and shifted my focus to plant-based protein with fibre and being more mindful of portion sizes and calories. I'm still whole food plant-based, but being more aware of those things. I'm not as strict about weighing food, but I'm much more aware of how much I eat. And the funny thing is, when I started this approach, I was about to go on holiday and was really worried about going off plan. But I still managed to enjoy myself, eat mindfully and lose weight, and I've managed to maintain it. We all have ups and downs, and that's completely okay. It's a journey, not a race. Today's recipe was inspired by my favourite actress, Alia Bhatt's beetroot tadka yogurt, which completely changed how I think about raita. I will never have plain yogurt again. This sweet potato quinoa poha packs serious protein while honouring those traditional flavours we love. And for those of you that don't know what poha is, I'll explain in a second. Okay, so we're going to get going with our tadka. I've got a hot pan here and I'm going to add some extra virgin olive oil only because my pan's quite old and I don't want everything to stick, but you don't have to use oil if you don't want to. So I'm just going to use a few sprays of extra virgin olive oil and we'll let that heat up. Now for those of you that are big Alia Bhatt fans like me, tell me what your favourite film is. And why Alia Bhatt is because she is focused on being healthy. I love all her meals like chia pudding, for example, and that's what I'm all about. Obviously, I'm no Alia Bhatt. I try to do her acting and lines. I cannot do them at all. Right, so that's hot now. We're just going to stand a mile away because we're going to put some mustard seeds into pot. Now they might take a while, so don't be tempted to add everything else in. Come on, pop, pop, pop. Yay, it's starting. Note to self, don't get a portable gas. It's probably the longest bit of the video is popping the mustard seeds. These Gujaratis, they take up all the filming where they're popping the mustard seeds. Right, so now that's started to pop, let's add our curry leaves. And we'll gently just stir that. And we're just going to toast this until they become a little bit crisp. Nothing like the smell of fresh curry leaves. Try not to get rye on my face. It smells fantastic. You can see that now this is starting to shrivel, it's getting crisp, and that's done now. We're just going to turn the gas off. Okay, so we're going to make our cucumber raita now. I like grating the cucumber finely because plant-based yogurt doesn't tend to have much water in it as opposed to natural yogurt. But if your yogurt is more watery, then just squeeze the water out of your cucumber. So we've got some cucumber, then I've got my plant-based yogurt, and we'll just mix that. Maybe needed a bigger bowl. I like loads of yogurt, so forgive me if there's a lot here. Next I'm going to add my spices. So I've got some roasted cumin powder here. I've got some amchur or mango powder, some chili flakes, and a pinch of hing. You can actually put that in the vagar, I don't know what you call that in English, but you can roast this if you like, but I'm just going to add it straight in. And this is great for people that are avoiding onion and garlic. We'll add our tadka ingredients now. You can add more curry leaves if you like, and we'll give that a stir. So it wasn't actually amchur or mango powder I added, it was actually chaat masala, but you can add mango powder instead. You can add either or. And then we're going to add some salt to taste. I'm going to add some lemon juice, but this is totally optional. Pride, come on, sponsor me, all right? All right, so that's done. We'll set that aside and let's get going with the poha. So the recipe in the description that I've linked from my website is for 4 people. Today I'm only going to make enough to serve 2 people, even though the yogurt's to serve 100 people, okay? But you can follow the original recipe, especially if you're batch cooking, to 4 portions. So we've got a pan that's hot again. Using the same oil, you can add a tiny bit more if it's stuck. So we're going to add some mustard seeds again. Just going to move these around a bit so they're next to the hot oil. And we'll wait for that to splatter, and then we're going to add some curry leaves again. You can hear those popping now. I'm just going to stand away from it. Okay, let's add some curry leaves. We add maybe about this much. And we stir that again until it gets crisp. Now while that cooks, let's talk about poha. So poha is a flattened rice dish that's usually eaten as a snack, like street food, a quick lunch as well. Obviously it's normally made with white rice that is steamed and dried, but today I'm using organic quinoa flakes, which I bought online. They cook as quickly as poha, but obviously they're higher in protein. They have more vitamins and minerals such as iron and magnesium. So that's what we're using today. But if you can't find quinoa flakes, then just boil some regular quinoa and this will taste just as delicious, but obviously it won't be poha. And this is a cross between poha and khichdi basically. We're going to try and keep it loose and not as stodgy as khichdi, but if you cook this for longer, it would actually turn into a khichdi as well. So do whatever you like. It will taste amazing whichever way you do it. Okay, so that's brown now. Let's add the onion. We're going to add some onion in. Some diced red onion is my favorite. If you are Jain or Swaminarayan, you don't have to add this. If it starts sticking, you can just add tiny bits of water. We're going to add a tiny bit of salt just to help this to cook. Now we're not making a curry, so these onions don't have to be super soft. And actually my mum likes to add raw onions and raw tomatoes on top. We'll add a splash of water, more than a splash, a dhaglo. You can see the pan's lovely and hot. And do me a favour, please comment. I love hearing from you. Tell me what's your favourite Gangubai quote, or if you haven't even heard of Alia Bhatt, watch her beetroot raita tadka. Tell me which one's better. Okay, so that's been a few minutes and the onions are a little bit translucent. We're going to add some garlic. Again, this is totally optional. If you are onion and garlic free, then you don't need to add this. We're adding hing anyway, asafoetida, which gives a pungent taste. So according to this recipe, it's half the amount. If you're going on a date, obviously you might want to skip this meal and eat it when you get back home. We're going to add some ginger that I've basically peeled and grated. So that's some ginger there. And we add a few splashes of water. Oh God. Oh my God. I'm going to have to cook this down now. Sorry. No, I haven't got a blender today. Oh my God, what's happened? The blender lady, the one which shares in blenders, has not got her blender today. All right, so now that's fragrant. Fragrant. We're gonna add some red pepper. Just add half the amount there. And then we're going to toast our spices. So I've got some amchur or mango powder. This is actually mango powder, not chaat masala, but you can use chaat masala if you like. I've got some turmeric, and to get the curcumin out of the turmeric, I've got some black pepper, and I've also got some hing here as well. I'm not going to use all of it. So let's add a pinch of hing, black pepper, the amchur. Let's add a little bit more, and some turmeric. Although some of you that are new to Indian cooking will say that's a lot of spices, this is actually less than most curries actually. And it's the freshness and the vibrancy that sings out in this dish. Okay, and literally now we can just add the rest of our ingredients. We've got our quinoa flakes here, or poha. And what we're going to do is we're going to rinse them in a strainer just for about 4 to 10 seconds. Please don't do it any more than that, otherwise they will get soggy and clumped together. But that will turn into khichdi and it's fine, it will taste amazing. Okay, so we're going to add that in. The look of concentration on her face to get out every quinoa flake because she knows her mum is watching. We're going to dry roast this. If it starts sticking to the bottom, then just add a tiny bit of water, but we want to try and add less water to this. Then we're going to add our sweet potato. Now, sweet potato is great in this recipe because it's full of beta carotene. It has more fibre than regular potatoes. But if you don't like sweet potatoes, then use a normal potato. potatoes. Sorry, I'm talking really poshly today. I don't know what's happened to me. Okay, so we'll add about that much to it. And then we're gonna add some shelled edamame beans. So I've literally just rehydrated this in hot water, boiling water, and I bought them frozen. And that's the easiest, most convenient way to get them. You can also get them tinned. And this will add extra protein. And we just mix that, literally just for 3 more minutes and it will be done. We're just gonna mix it so all the spices get mixed through. And I forgot to add cumin to the tadka. When you add the curry leaves and the mustard seeds, add some cumin as well. Here's one I made earlier. Something always goes wrong with cooking, right? You just have to flow with it, right? Sacrilege. All the aunties would be like, hi, she added jeera after the tadka. Okay, now we're gonna add generous amounts of lemon juice. Add this to taste. Pride, you've had lots of airtime today, okay? Just so you know, there's the bottle. Okay, we're gonna turn the heat off now. We're gonna add some more salt to taste. You can omit this if you like. Today, I'm making a balls up of everything, right? So I was supposed to add chilies to this as well. So what I'll do is I'll do a separate tadka of the chilies and I'm gonna add them in. But actually you can add them in now if you like. They'll cook through. So I've got some green chilies which I've chopped up. Everything's in reverse order. We're gonna add some fresh coriander to this. You can omit this if you don't like coriander. And then we're ready to serve after we mix this all together. And as you can see from this video, I had the original gangster, and no, it's not Alia Bhatt as Gangubai, but look who tried my recipe.
Mom, do you want to try my sweet potato quinoa poha?
This one?
Yeah. I made it with a cucumber raita. What do you think?
Nice, very nice.
Do you know who it's inspired by? A famous Bollywood actress.
No.
Can't guess? Alia Bhatt.
Oh, yeah, I remember her dialogue. इज्जत से जीना, किसी से डरना नहीं, ना पुलिस से, ना एमएलए से, ना मंत्री से, किसी के बाप से नहीं डरना.
There you have my Alia Bhatt inspired sweet potato quinoa poha. This is what balanced eating looks like for me now, honouring the flavours I love while supporting my health goals. It's not about perfection, it's about finding what works for your body and your life. If my approach to mindful, protein-focused, plant-based eating resonates with you, I'd love for you to subscribe and explore more of my recipes and hit me a comment down below. Most viewers that have watched my videos haven't actually subscribed yet, but your support helps me keep these videos going and keeping them accessible. I translate these videos into several South Asian languages, so let me know in the comments if you'd like another language added. As always, the full recipe is on my website and linked in the description show notes. Until next time, as always, keep eating those plants.